His father often brought strange boys home from time to time. Although the son didn't understand it, he never dared to ask. But right after his father left, the boy noticed a missing child report on TV. The kid in the photo looked exactly like the one sitting right in front of him.
Through the number on your screen.
The next day, the 911 center received a call from the boy. Soon, police arrived at the man's house to investigate. The cameras at the door and the hair dye in the sink already gave off a bad vibe. The man tried to stay calm, blaming everything on his son being too naughty. But from the boy's nervous eyes, it was clear something was wrong. So, the officer asked to talk to the boy alone. To her surprise, the boy suddenly changed his attitude, saying everything was fine.
I see. It's just you and your father, is it? Okay, well, you know calling 911's a serious thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I have to wonder if maybe the reason you call is a little more serious than just being grounded.
No, that's all it was, I swear. Please, you just have to tell my dad that everything's okay. I just don't want him to be mad at me anymore.
Since he refused to tell the truth, she returned to the call center to review the recording. Sure enough, she noticed something strange.
Stevie, give me that phone.
Right there, in the background before the dad comes to the phone.
Stevie, give me that phone. Stay here, don't touch it.
There was clearly a third person in the room during the call, but the man said only he and his son lived there. To find out the truth, police decided to stake out the man's house. They secretly took the trash he threw away. To their shock, the fingerprints from the 911 call matched a boy who went missing 6 years ago. That meant the man who raised him for 6 years was actually a kidnapper. With the evidence ready, police quickly moved in. But it was too late. The house was empty. Apparently, the man had been alerted last time. Then they found a hidden room inside the wall. That tiny space clearly wasn't meant for a 12-year-old to sleep in. Connecting it to a recent case of a missing 6-year-old boy, it seemed that child must have been kept there. The officer immediately ordered a citywide search, but finding the man in such a big city wasn't easy. Just then, the call center received another call from the boy. He escaped with another little boy while his father was asleep. He wanted to take the kid home, but got lost. The dispatcher quickly alerted the police. It seemed like they would be saved soon, until the boy's phone suddenly rang. The man had installed a tracker. The boy grabbed the younger one and ran, but how could two kids outrun a grown man? They were quickly caught again, just as the police arrived. Realizing he was surrounded, the furious man pulled out a knife and grabbed the little boy. Police didn't dare to rush in, but as the train arrived, he tried to make his escape. Then suddenly, the female officer appeared.
This right here is your stop.
Stop the knife!
Don't worry, you're safe now. I got you. I got you both.
The kidnapper was finally taken down, and both boys were safe.
He's not my dad, is he?
No, he's not. Your real father and mother are on their way.
At that moment, the real parents were already on their way. The boy only vaguely remembered his mom, curly hair and a warm smile that appeared in his dreams. The officer showed him the old newspaper. He was only 6 when he was taken. His mom just answered a phone call, and when she turned around, he was gone. It had been 6 long years. His parents never stopped searching for him. When they finally saw their son again, the heavy weight they'd carried in their hearts finally lifted. But the missing love and time could only be healed slowly.
Hi. Hi.
May there be no more kidnappers in this world, and may every child have a safe, happy home. the fire department suddenly got a call for rescue. At first, they thought it was just a routine mission, but right after the truck left the station, an explosion happened. In a flash, flames burst out and firefighters were blown out of the truck. Then, a man covered in explosives slowly walked over.
You're new?
Angry that his father had died in prison, he started a series of revenge attacks. He planned multiple bombings, and all the victims were people linked to his father's case.
Got a perimeter set up, but we're just guessing the blast radius on that thing.
Can't toss him a phone. We're not sure what kind of signal he's operating on.
Dispatch, this is Captain 118. What is the play? I've got people dying in the street.
Hold your position, 118.
Give me the captain! Where's the captain?
Hey, I told you not to move.
Seeing the situation, the acting captain stepped forward, begging him to let them rescue the injured first. But the bomber wasn't looking for him.
I want Captain Nash.
The captain looked at his girlfriend, said softly, "I love you," then walked out without hesitation. He knew this could be a one-way trip, but to save his team, he had no other choice.
Thought you'd be on the truck. I'm here now.
How far away are you?
What's next? That's what you wanted.
Wanted you dead.
I get that. What about them? What about him? He's got parents, a sister, a girlfriend, and he never did anything to you. He wasn't even a firefighter when your father burned down that restaurant.
Still, the people here were innocent,
Collateral
but the man refused to listen to reason.
More step. We all go boom.
Freddie, you got dealt a bad hand, and I am sorry about that. But what you did with it, that's a choice. You stopped being a victim the moment you left that first bomb.
That lawyer.
She did her job. We were all doing our jobs.
Destroying my family. My mom and I lost everything. She was in so much pain.
Want to make it worse? You want to make her watch you die?
Luckily, the police brought the bomber's mother to the scene. While the man turned to look at her, the captain seized the moment. He lunged forward and grabbed the man as SWAT rushed in and took him down. The bomb threat was finally over, but the real rescue had just begun. One firefighter was still trapped under the fire truck, and his leg had already gone numb. If they didn't get him to a hospital soon, he could lose that leg. The captain immediately gathered all the firefighters, planning to lift the fire truck by hand, but they had underestimated its weight. Even though they gave it everything they had, the truck didn't move an inch. They had no choice but to call dispatch for backup. Just then, a touching scene happened. The crowd watching nearby broke through the barricade and rushed to help lift the truck.
Stand by. Now look at this. Bystanders stepping in. They're going to help out. This really is an amazing scene that's unfolding.
Usually, firefighters save people in danger, but this time, the people came to save the firefighters.
Okay, we got him! We got him!
With everyone's combined effort, they finally lifted the truck and the trapped firefighter was pulled out safely. In that moment, everyone finally breathed a sigh of relief, and the kindness of people shone brighter than ever.